What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to give you an overview of some of the data points, what's really causing so much volatility today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, surprisingly, Lucid is up 2.61%. There has been no official news, no SEC filings. There's a couple of things floating around that I do want to share with you, but maybe it being up this much, that's more of a precursor that someone knows something, that something might be coming. So stay tuned for that. But when it came down to the broader market, you did see a lot of growth stocks selling off because Lucid did have a low of 301, and that was because of CPI. So CPI came in line with the forecast. Investing.com does not seem to be working, but as you can kind of see right here, this is a month over month view of CPI. So energy did come in flat, so meaning the other basket items essentially were higher. So still, regardless though, a lot of this data does mean that the likelihood of a 50 basis point cut for the next meeting, for the September 18th meeting, might not happen. And so in my opinion as well, that 50 basis point cut was already being priced into the market. So this is why you did have a little bit of a sell-off. So right now there is a 37.5% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. And again, that's for the September 18th meeting. 62.5% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut as well. So in reality, I don't really see that big of a deal with it being a 25 versus a 50, but clearly the market did at the time. Aside from that though, a couple of things that have been coming out. You do see this website. So this is all the available cars for Lucid, and they are really lowering the prices of the Pure. So you can kind of see that there's a lot right here. So buy at 66,475 after a 7,500 Air credit. They're really trying to incentivize their, I guess, inventory, similar to what has happened over the last 2 quarters, just to be sold out. So I think Lucid in general is doing a absolutely phenomenal job of getting this out, and clearly just getting some additional revenue in preparation for the Gravity, which who knows when it might come out. I still do feel it might be during that special day on September the 10th. Some people think that by Peter going like this, 4 or like a 2 and a 5, or might be 7. I have no idea. It's coming out sometime this year. I think Peter's made that point very, very clear. But aside from that, I see these promotions being very good. And then it is that time of season. So you do have 13Fs. Couple big things I wanted to talk on. So BlackRock did increase their position by 10.76%. I see a lot of people kind of pointing that out. That is generally good, but at the same time, I'm always hesitant about a lot of the bigger players in the market, such as BlackRock and Vanguard, only because they typically do lend out shares. But aside from that, though, you do have a lot of other institutions during Q2, because keep in mind all this did occur during Q2, increasing their position. So this is kind of also where you do see the PIF recently did kind of submit their 13F. No change, of course. So no, I think that was kind of anticipated. But once again, Sultan did post this showing that of all the holdings that the PIF disclosed, it kind of goes to show that they are optimistic about the future. So even though right now the fear and greed index is in the fear category, so 26, so people's appetite for risk isn't there, the age-old saying about buy when there is blood, they're clearly doing that, because a lot of their purchases that they have been doing between Q1 and Q2, or I guess the difference between that, is a lot of tech stocks, and tech stocks have been hit quite hard, but again, they're buying when there's a lot of blood. Same goes for Lucid. So they haven't changed Lucid's position, so meaning they're still optimistic about that and everything else. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from that though, shorts are returning about 163,000 shares. So a nice change of events because they've been really increasing regardless of the market circumstances. So today they're kind of breaking that trend, but 28.17% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 252.83 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average is 11.61, and then utilization 95.03. So like I mentioned, this bump up in the stock price might insinuate that someone knows something. Same goes for shorts. whoever is shorting Lucid has deep pockets, like I pointed out. That's very resemblant. So maybe those same big entities do know that something is coming. So we'll just have to wait and see. There could be a lot that Peter could unveil. One is a partnership. Second one is Gravity dates. There's also sponsorships that could be announced. There's unlimited amount of things. So let me know your thoughts and what you think potentially might be the next big catalyst to come out. Options wise, 120,000 in puts, 232,000 in calls. 46% of all the options so far today are bearish, and you do see quite a lot of money just between that 5-minute candle of 10, 55, and 11. And based on this, just orienting it based on premium, it looks like it's kind of two main transactions. Overall, somewhat mixed. It was a multi-leg transaction roughly for the 23rd, and also you did have a second one right here as an overall premium for 1,000 for this upcoming Friday. So this is why a lot of big money does do options. So if you guys haven't learned that yet, highly recommending doing so. Of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above $3.50 by the end of this week, and then roughly around $4 by the end of next week. So clearly people are a little bit more optimistic about the next couple of days. So you do have initial jobless claims coming out tomorrow, as well as retail sales. So who knows? We'll just have to wait and see what does come. Looking at puts, you do see a consensus for it to be kind of between that $2.50 and $3 mark. So based on risk versus reward, clearly more upside is anticipated. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So not all that much, only 3, but as of late, you do see 2 transactions, one for 140,000, second one being for 258,000. And based on that timing, it seems to be right around here. So big money is causing Lucid to go up for whatever reason. And right now with it at $3.15, it is briefly above this pivot point. So $3.13, definitely watch for it to get above that and stay above that close of business day today. And then on the flip side, $3.36 will be the next strong resistance / target. So higher highs seem to be coming for Lucid, and despite the, I guess, flatness of CPI coming out today, you do see a lot of data points that is relatively optimistic and bullish. So have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with Lucid? Based on this, it does show a number of retail investors have been getting out. Luckily enough, today it is actually above that 50-day moving average. Still, you do need 2 confirmed days to kind of set a trend, and over this last week it's been like a damn roller coaster. We at least note this 100-day moving average has been relatively good, as you can kind of see. My apologies, right here. So I think generally that's a good thing, but you need to watch for tomorrow. So assuming initial jobless claims and retail sales come in kind of better than anticipated, that is and might be the next big catalyst to propel Lucid higher. And then stochastic, you do see it at roughly 28, so still arguably oversold. So with all that said, let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with Lucid? And definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Link to that is in the description below or the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.